Okay, so let's talk about why you must guess on the SAT. And this is only for the year 2015. In 2016, this no longer applies. The guessing penalty will be removed in 2016, and you should just guess at will at that point. But let's talk about why in 2015 you should guess on the SAT. Most people think you shouldn't, but you should. Now, the way the scoring system works on the SAT is you get a point added to your score when you get a question correct. When you answer a question incorrectly, a fourth of a point is deducted from your score. And so this leads many people to believe, why should I guess? I would never guess. I don't want to lose points from guessing. That's true, but we're going to look at statistically why you won't lose points from guessing in most cases. Okay, so let's take a look at this first column. There's 5 answer choices in every question. That's the case for any multiple choice question on the SAT. So at any one time, you have 1 in 5 odds. If you randomly guess, 1 in 5 odds. And what that means is, if you were to randomly guess, and lots of people say that you should randomly guess C, which I'm sure that's not true, but randomly guessing with 1 in 5 odds will mean you'll get 1 question right and 4 questions wrong. Maybe not in this order, and maybe you'll get lucky and get them all right, or maybe you'll be totally unlucky and get them all wrong. Statistically, you'll get 1 right, 4 wrong. What that means is 1 point's added for this correct answer, and then a fourth of a point is deducted for these 4 answers. So obviously 4/4 deducted and 1 point added means that you've netted 0 points. So randomly guessing neither helps nor hurts your score. The only thing it does is waste a little bit of your time as you bubble in the answers. So it's really not worth guessing if you have absolutely no idea what the answer is. But most people on most questions will have some understanding of, even if you're not sure what the answer is, you'll know that one of the answers is wrong. So for instance, let's look at this new set with 8 questions here. If you know one of the answers is wrong, let's just say E, just for the sake of this example, you know that E is wrong on each of these questions throughout the test. Now, you now have 1 in 4 odds because you've made sure that E is wrong. You're not sure if A, B, C, or D is the right answer, but you're certain E is not the right answer. Okay, so now with 1 in 4 odds, let's say you guess A every time. So you guess A 8 times with 1 in 4 odds. What that means is you're going to get 1 question correct for every 3 you get wrong. With 1 in 4 odds, 1 out of 4 questions will be answered correctly. So if we think about this, we're going to add a whole point for getting that 1 right. Then for the next 3 which are wrong, we're going to deduct a fourth of a point each time, which is 3/4 deducted. Then we're going to get a point for number 5 because we got that right, and then negative 3/4 for these next 3. Now keep in mind, this is all just statistics. You could get lucky or unlucky, but we can't really base our strategy on luck. We can base our strategy off of our knowledge of how this will work statistically over the course of the test. So you'll get 2 points added to your score, 6/4 subtracted from your score, which is positive 1/2, which doesn't seem significant. But this is your raw score. A half of a point on your raw score translates to 10 points on your scaled score, which is the score you're familiar with. So that brings you from like a 590 to a 600, which could be a threshold to get you into the school that you want to go to, or even a 740 to a 750 to get you into that elite range. Okay, now that's if you only were able to cross off 1 answer choice. For a lot of you, you're going to be able to cross off 2 or 3 answer choices and know that it's really between 2 answer choices or among 3 answer choices. So let's cross off 2 answer choices in this set. Let's just pretend, and it could be any 2 answer choices, of course, not necessarily D and E every time. But let's assume that we know that the answer choice that's correct is either A, B, or C on each of these. Now, of course, we have 1 and 3 odds here. So let's be clear. 1 and 5 here, 1 and 4 here, 1 and 3 here. Okay, 1 and 3 odds. So let's say you go back to the tried and true picking C every time method. The genius pick C every time method. Okay, so 1 and 3 odds means you'll get 1 right for every 2 you get wrong. And so let's do that. Obviously, again, we don't necessarily know how this is going to work out because each situation is different, but statistically, over the course of the whole test, this will work out roughly so that you get 1 out of every 3 correct. So positive 1 for this one correct, negative 1/2, because we have a fourth of a point deducted for each of these 2 incorrect answers. Then we're going to get, we're going to get positive point here, and then 1/2 deducted for these 2 incorrect answers, positive 1 here, negative 1/2 here. Okay, adding all those up, we have 3 positive points. We have negative 3/2, so we're left with positive 3/2, which is positive 1.5 points. Again, doesn't sound like a lot, but this is typically going to be 20 points on your SAT. And these 20 points are free. You didn't have to get smarter. Free points on the SAT by guessing. So the deal is this scoring system is actually pretty ingenious because you are rewarded for being smart. You were smart enough in these situations, in this set, to know that answer choice E was wrong, which makes you smarter than the person that has no idea, and therefore you're given 10 points. On this next list here, you were even smarter and you knew that it was down to 1 out of 3 answer choices. So by knowing that D and E were wrong, you've proven your intelligence over the person who has no idea, at least in this one measure of intelligence. So this is actually a really cool scoring system because the smarter you are, the more questions you can get your odds down. Even if you don't know the answer, the more questions you'll get right because you're increasing your odds by eliminating answer choices that you're certain are wrong. So you must guess on the SAT in order to get your best score, as long as you know that one of the answer choices or more than one of the answer choices is definitely incorrect. Okay, go out and get your free points.